Check, check, check. Yo, yo, what's good? What's good? Sunday cookout, special guest. It's a special Sunday. It's not a regular Sunday right now. Don't think it's a regular Sunday. We got a different camera set up. Can switch between. Oh, boom! I'm over here. What? No, I'm over there. What's good, Bottomless? Dark Sider. We're gonna get into it in a minute. I couldn't figure out a way to get stereo split for the headphones. So for listening to everybody's tracks, I'm gonna turn off the microphone and we're gonna listen to it through the speakers. And then I'll try to remember to turn the speakers off so we don't get feedback. Give a reaction for each one, and then we'll just move through. We'll just get started. Bottomless said beat is just kind of alright. All right, we'll check it out, and we'll get some honest feedback from the artists themselves here. So I'm excited to hear what everybody did. I know my dad is excited to hear what everybody did, and we'll just go through the order. Now I was kind of thinking, should I say what the names are gonna be of what things, like who made it before they go in, like which one is mine when I play it, or should I just play stuff randomly?
I think it's better. I just want to hear what's going on.
All right, yep. So we're just gonna play through, turning microphone down. We're gonna get into the beats. Cookout submissions. Looks like I think we had 6. 1, 2, 3, something like that. Let's cook. Hey Tom, what's good? Appreciate y'all pulling up. All right. Oh wait, I forgot a pretty critical component of playing the song that got sampled for this week. So I'll go to the Cookout sample channel. Here is, man, very beautiful day outside. Here was the record to be flipped for this week. Uses of Infinity. Came out 2010. Improvisational banjo. Is there anything you wanna say about it before we get into listening to anybody's stuff?
Oh, yeah. Well, number one, I'm super interested in...
If you get up on the, Yep.
Like that?
Yep, perfect.
Okay. So, obviously I follow what Mango does and his pathway through, this live stream. I'm really into it. And he wanted to try to use as a starter piece of music something that I had recorded. And the focus of what I do musically is about creating sounds without any effects. So I use a banjo as a starting instrument, and then I've added a lot of things to it. I don't know if there are ways to see what the banjo looks like, but
it on the video here they can see.
Oh, okay. So, the banjo evolves over time. It now has 23 strings, and I use a lot of different techniques to pull sounds from it and create music to be coming out of the banjo. And I want it to be expanding the vocabulary of what a banjo does, because as an instrument, I don't know how to play banjo. I don't know banjo music. I don't know how to play bluegrass or any of the things. It's not my interest. But because it's essentially a drum head with strings pulled across it, there's a lot that you can find inside of that. It's very fertile ground. And then when Mango wanted to, use that as a starter piece of music, and my work is all improvised, so it's made up within the moment in hearing what the sounds are and reacting to what I'm hearing. And then just to see what his creative world, including people that are part of this cookout, what would happen if, because it's a fairly obscure and unexpected type of sample. It's not a regular sound. It's not like 70s soul record, and I'm just beyond curious as someone who creates music.
Okay,
what would it be? Somebody wants to use that to do what they do. Come on.
And I think the name of the record is so fitting for uses of infinity. For then one of those uses is people can flip it and turn it into whatever. We're about to check it out. Okay, we got a couple questions. Juju says here and curious. So this is my dad. This is some of his music playing in the background, and we've got a community of music producers who all took this music and flipped it to make their own beat. Darksider says makes a lot of sense. Was surprised when you first said it was a banjo because you play it so differently.
Yeah.
And Positive People was confused. Is it a banjo played with a violin string?
It has 29 different strings on it. They're all either guitar strings or sitar strings, and any string that's pulled tight across some kind of resonator can be played with a bow. You can, and things that aren't even strings like cymbals, you can pull sound out of it by bowing it, and it just sets up a vibration. And then that sound it already takes you automatically out of the ordinary path. You're hearing a sound that's not a known sound, and by drumming on the drum head, that's not a normal sounding drum, because there are a lot of what are called sympathetic strings and unexpected maneuvers.
We've got the banjo in the building.
Banjo's in the building.
Okay,
I don't know where
I'm switching the camera. Camera's over here.
Okay.
Let's show off the banjo.
Here, for illustrative purposes, there it is, over like that. So I don't know if you can see what's going on. Maybe if I go even closer.
Yeah. Yep, man, I'm so excited to get into it. Juju tuned in, says 29 strings, beautiful sounds when you visited and played it here a couple years back. Dope. Where are you tuning in from, Juju? Man. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're getting lots of sheeshes. Oh wow. Sick looking banjo. Come on. This is some different stuff happening here.
So this is the instrument that or the version of it that I currently use. I've made 3 all total, and this is the current instrument, and I'll tell you, it hasn't been tuned or dealt with, but I'll just kind of play it a little bit and see what happens.
Ooh, okay.
Because to demonstrate how it works is, do you hear there's another sound that cooks in.
That kind of harmonic.
Yeah. So the actual note itself, when I dampen those strings that are sympathetic, this is what it sounds like. This is what a banjo sounds like, And I like that sound to use it sometimes, and then I like having I don't know if that comes through the microphone, but
might be clipping a little bit. it is a customized banjo, Void. Banjo that's had extra strings added to it.
So this is
A batar or a sanjo.
a what?
A batar or a sanjo.
Yeah.
You just flipped it around.
So yeah, this is something that I've made, and it just gives a lot of options to me as a player to use moves that aren't part of banjo. So like this kind of thing. So that's more part of like what some flamenco guitar moves are, or just different spots. So, and then tons of other things. I have this.
Yeah, it's its whole own world.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's not gonna pick it up the best on the mic, but you guys know, yep, definitely a wizard.
Yeah, so this is my main instrument for a long time. I've been a dedicated improviser. I don't play a song that you start at the beginning and play everything and then the song's over. I start with maybe just a little seed of an idea or phrase on the instrument and then see where that might lead. Take it where it might lead. So this is what you've been presented with as this week's sample source, and I'm just feel very honored and excited to hear what another artist where someone might go from this as an unusual starting point. So that's the story of what I'm doing.
So honored and lucky to have you here. Like, it's actually crazy. I just feel so lucky. Let's get into the beats for this week. And it's gonna be honesty. Be warned. Be warned. Appreciate you guys all pulling up. Let's get to it.
You are the new student. Come closer. You are the new student. Come closer. You think I cannot see? Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet? Young man, how is it that you do not?
Let me turn the mic on. Should be good. All right. First beat. Let's get into it.
Let's get into
it.
All right.
Feedback.
Feedback is number one. It seems like, using, there's an element that's whimsical about this track related to the source, with the kung fu fighting quote.
Yep.
And
that was giving me some Wu-Tang kind of.
Yeah, I can see what's going on there. If it were, my feedback would be for it to maintain its impact. Less is more with a quote like that, especially one that's really well known. But I know you're taking it even past that idea to kind of put it way out there. But that would be my main critique, is to have less of that quote.
Okay.
And let each one have a little more weight to it, and to create, because it's funny to hear, but there are diminishing returns each time.
Yeah, like when the little flute part comes in.
Yeah, but
I like the idea there. It's a strong concept.
Yeah, the concept's good. I like hearing it in this context of a very straight ahead, 4 on the floor beat. And for a guy like me who's usually isn't collaborating with anyone, all my recordings are solo. I love hearing that another creative mind is gonna, what you've done with it. I think it sounds like you're staying true to who you are, while incorporating an amount of this unusual source. All right, beautiful. I say well done.
Beautiful. Thank you for the first submission. What's good? We're gonna get up to the second one. Turn the mic off, get into the next beat.
When I'm stepping, I be tying my laces. Face full of fists for a racist. Solid foundation, my basis. 101s, it's no replacements. Walk the streets like I'm vagrant. Keep it humble, I'm bragging. They don't even know I spit flame like a drake. spit flame like a dragon.
Sheesh. Alright, that was beat number 2. Whole different vibe.
Whole different vibe. I'd say when I'm hearing it at first, it made me think of what Mango has talked to me about with this kind of granular synthesis idea, and maybe that's being used inside of that, and I got that feeling of the true seed of the sample. And I thought it was playful. Then there's the lyrical part, and then I recognize that it's Mango.
I was wondering if you recognized that was me.
And then, but I, to my taste, it's exceptional. It moves through phases with it. It uses it as a color.
The vocal on top of it?
No, I'm getting back to the use of the sample. The sample is more like drawing it into your painter's palette and thinking, okay, how can I make this serve what my aesthetic is? And so I dig all the way.
Shaped it into something totally brand new.
Yeah, and as a musical
piece, or
as a piece of music, I like how it moves through. It has movement. It has variations on a theme, and then a whole other sector. I think it moves well, and it's completely unexpected to me. I wouldn't expect to hear anything.
How would you
close
expect
to
that to come from that record?
It doesn't make sense.
If
to
you
me.
told, even knowing that it came from that record, I still don't really believe it.
Yeah.
I need to see.
That's how it sounds, but
yeah, we got to see the video. We need a video of him making the beat.
Yeah, but for me that's music making.
All right,
that
was number 2. Appreciate you guys coming through. Let's get to the next one, number 3. Take a call real quick.
Someone calling me to say they're on the they're listening to it.
Let's see.
Let me see what we got. Freddie?
See what's going on.
Yeah, you busy?
Yeah, I'm live on the August. What do you call
Mango C4.
Mango C4
live stream.
Cookout. It's Sunday.
Okay.
It's Sunday Cookout. They started.
I was at my problem.
It's absolutely not. So this is like. Let's see, where do I go? That's Freddie.
Yeah.
That's Freddie.
Freddie Motel, drummer.
That call during the deal, and they got all mad at him.
No,
You're on the air right now.
Yeah, this is it. That's what
I'm saying.
You're our first caller.
I'll let you go.
All right, Freddie. I'll see you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right. Man, thank you guys all for submitting, pulling up. Let's get to the next beat. Loving this so far.
All material is copyright.
I don't know. I just kind of want to let you start with feedback
Okay.
since it's your sample, but I can also do.
However you want to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that one a lot. I mean, I like hearing the different parts of the sample, from the string sections to more kind of plucky stuff, and the breakdowns where it's just a little bit of guitar right before it gets back into the drop. Yeah, nice grooves. Man, I really like that one.
Yeah, for me, it sounds like and feels like, I mean, it's not true, but like I'm at the session. You know, I feel like that is what I'm hearing, and the way you've used it sounds like if I was asked to you know, contribute to the project, my mind would, I think, would work that way. I think you have a very musical ear to understand rhythmically what's happening, because a lot of it is very open meter.
Yeah.
So you need to, it calls for someone to have a good musical ear to rhythm and tone. I thought it was exceptional. It sounded to me like something I would do if I knew a
If
cat.
you were making beat, yeah.
Yeah,
Beat making.
Well, more like if I knew someone.
Oh, that called you in
Like
to
for
do
you,
a session. Yeah.
I think if I were to like hear something that's kind of midway through, and you're looking for, yeah, like the language you're using, like for breaks and accents and kind of turnarounds to get you into another
that's
section.
right where I would want those to sit.
Yeah, and I think it does it, and it sounds to me like very natural and real. Like if you were to say, "No, Paul, you recorded that shit for him. Don't you remember?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I think I remember." It sounds like how my brain works.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, so I would say exceptional.
Yeah.
And very true to the sample, yet obviously, and the choice of the vocal.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
What was
or
that
anything.
vocal, if you don't mind sharing? They said you were there. See, you just forgot.
Yeah.
Man, amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I didn't expect anything like that either. So far, these are very unique, disparate takes, all from the same seed.
Yeah, all
That's
three have been
fascinating.
totally unique.
Yeah, and
So-
people being true to themselves, that is coming through when I'm hearing it, and that's one of the, you know, that's one of the key elements of just being a human. Be true to yourself, and it's coming through to me, and that sense of the genuine article comes through, and you know, it really does, like, once you're in that way of making music, it tends to transcend the form and get into an area that has an integrity in and of itself. And I'm very attracted to music and composers that are like that. So far, I'm pretty knocked out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, let's keep going.
Yeah, keep the hits
keep
coming.
bringing the knockouts.
You are now vibing to sounds. It's just different.
Back in. Test. What's good? What's good, bees? What's up, Albino Black? Yeah, we got a special stream going on today. Alright, yeah, so this last beat.
Oh, it's the last one? Alright.
No, we got a couple. I'm just saying this one we listened to.
Yeah.
More simple than the other ones. I could definitely hear like a vocalist, like a rapper or something. Just, you know, there's lots of open space on there for like a vocalist to get in on it and do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I was kind of thinking listening to it.
Oh,
But I liked it. No,
it's absolutely that. It feels like this feels very much like a song. It's songwriting and taking a pretty complicated tone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not part of the vernacular of, I'll just say hip hop. I'm not fully, aware of all the language.
Hip-hop, electronic music,
Yeah,
whatever.
that kind of sample, because it carries with it like corniness and sort of southern hick backwoods. When people hear that sound of just a tone that's recognizable as a banjo, which were the things that were the way the sample sections were treated.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bold fucking move, because you're letting it be what it is, and I think it holds up. It has integrity. And this comment is about all of the samples so far. Is I don't know what the language is to how to talk about, but when you pull a spoken word section in there, like that is a really beautiful part of the history of what I know of this type of music. I've always loved that kind of pull-in, where you're taking something, you hear it, it's out of a context you're not familiar with, but you're making it apropos. And I mean, that's something that MF Doom is so masterful at.
Man.
And I think, and many, many other people that have produced music inside of this wide genre. And I like everybody's usage. This one seemed beautifully spot on, because it seems to be commenting on what's happening musically to what is a key. It's used as a key building block.
Yep.
And so it kind of is self-referential in that way. I thought it was super interesting and sounds the most like song structure, and what sounds the most like what my banjo sounds like. It's just very untreated, and finding those sectors in there. I thought it was outstanding. I really did.
Got a really good loop going.
Yeah.
Oh, Positive said the vocal sample for the last one was Judy Roderick. Have you heard of her?
No.
Okay, well check her out from
That was
1964.
lovely. I really liked hearing that. I thought the quality of her voice was a perfect.
Oh yeah, on the Positive.
Perfect counterpoint. Yeah. So that's going back, but yeah, this one I really dug it, and it's again miles from many of the other ones. So
Sonos, if you wanna if you have something you want to submit, try to get it submitted soon if you want us to react to it. Alright, let's get to it. Appreciate everybody submitting, everybody pulling up. Let's keep going. into feedback. Okay. Man. Yeah, there's a lot going on in that one. Definitely couldn't pick out the sample in there. I think I don't know if it was granular or if it just got super processed. But I really like that bass sound. That's the kind of bass that I just love. That just hits so deep like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of got a visual near the end. I don't know why, it was kind of reminding me of that scene from Fight Club at the end when all the buildings are blowing up.
Oh shit.
And getting leveled.
Yeah.
I kind of got a visual from that from the end there.
Damn.
Yeah, the bass was crazy.
To me, the sample was the main sort of melodic element.
Yeah.
That I could hear.
That kind of sounded like an electric guitar. Yeah.
Like, and then treated.
Yep.
And so it's sounding, but I could still hear hear what it is inside of that. At least that's what it sounded like to me.
No, I think you're right.
It really had it. This one, more than any of the other one, really begs for someone to rap over it. I think if the right cat has that in front of them, I think they could, to the right person, it could be inspirational. It's very straight ahead, less experimental than a lot of them to my ear.
Right.
And which I like hearing because I spend so much of my time in the avant-garde that I'm aware of, I guess I'll just say music, that is popular.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't enter into what my thing is. But then that one, more than any of them, put it there. Mm-hmm. That sounded like something
that sounded
somebody
official,
could use.
like you could hear that on the radio. Or like,
yeah, and so I thought it was exceptionally well done. If I'm understanding how what was pulled and used in that descending melodic theme that repeats throughout. You have a beautiful break in it that gets ethereal, and I thought it was really something else, and I would love to hear it get in front of somebody who wants to do something on top of it. I was really you guys cover a lot of ground. Between these samples, it is a cross section of a lot of different kinds of people.
Right, it's not a community of people making the same kinds of stuff.
Right,
it's a very wide array.
And I respond to eclecticism.
We got to answer for the question. A lot of EQ and saturation on the sample. So yeah, like you were saying, I didn't pick that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were able. I mean, it's your music, so it's like you're more tuned into it.
I could still hear this kind of texture of what a bowed tone that I can pull out sounds like, and then it was just it was left inside of something you created, this encasement that made it sound like a different instrument, but I could hear the core shit to it. And I mean, I don't know if what you did was sample it and then use that as something to use on a keyboard.
Yeah,
that you can key down. It's what it sounded like.
He cut it up and pitched it to write that part with the melody.
Yeah, because melodically, what I was hearing was not part of my lexicon. I'm not; those aren't moves I make, but I could hear myself in it. And I love that creativity.
Yeah,
and I hate to say well done all the time because
I know I'm just waiting. We need somebody to hate on.
Yeah. Look, I feel sorry for who the next person is because maybe that's the hate.
They said for the next beat that it's kind of kind of meh. So maybe they're not too sure about the beat themselves.
All right. Well, let's see.
So we'll see. All right. Yeah. Thank you for the submission.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to the next one. Oh wait, mic
Oops.
wasn't on. Sorry. Okay, got it. All right.
All right, so I perceive that as a musical sketch of an idea rather than
A finished. Yeah.
fleshed out idea. There are parts in it that really work and put me into like, this could be, definitely has the potential to be part of like a cinematic soundtrack.
Ooh.
There's movement to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's unusual. There's a weight inside of it that's moving. But as far as it sounds like there wasn't time put in to understand what's happening in these different sections, and it's a pretty like musically, it's a difficult thing to use because it's if anyone is a person that knows musical terms, it's the whole note scale, which is just built on one interval on top of another interval. It's all the same distance between each note, so that within that, when you any kind of harmony, there are points in there that are highly dissonant. And I think in order to have when you had it with two different parts of the sample together, they're butting heads in a way that wasn't happening for me, because you're from where the sketch seems to want to go, it's landing on heavy dissonance, which can be a beautiful tool to, create movement and tension. But here it doesn't sound right. So it's the kind of thing where it seems like it needs to have more listening to the sample, the sound. But when it works within the sketch. And I think if you were into it, and it was having things that you like, I'm sure you could flesh out something wherein you could create a standalone piece. And so for what it is, I think it's a success, because if you can have parts that work,
right,
that's the success.
Yeah,
okay, this works. It's like, any creative thing. When you start a painting, sometimes you might get into a section where you just like this corner, there's something that's working. And then you can build on that and kind of bring other sections of the painting up to where you feel this one is. And then you're kind of sculpting something. And this seems early stages of what that sample is. So for the person who created it to describe it as meh, I'm with you on that. But it's not shit.
Yeah.
I can hear that there's
potential.
There's stuff in there. Parts are messy. There's conflict that I would think you'd want to resolve. But overall, I'd give it a good sketch.
Right, it's solid. I would want to hear that maybe after it got worked on a little, or fully fleshed out.
Yeah, and like anything, that kind of thing just takes interest, desire, and time. So those are all limited quantities.
They say, can we have him on every week? He just gives the best advice. What advice is better? You tell me.
And just to say, to talk about what my personality is, I'm not a sugarcoater. And so if one of these really sounded like this is a real hard miss, I would say it and be able to talk about why I'm feeling that way, because that's what I like in a critique. If someone hears what you're doing, it's not everybody might have part of them that wants to hear something praising you, but the real thing is we're all learning, and we're all on the path. And praise can be a good feeling, but what's helpful is to hear another person comment and say, I feel like I know where you're going here. and I think you could get there
Yeah.
if you felt like it. So that's where I'm at with that one.
Love that. I think it's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do well to have his own. He does have his own channel. We'll be posting more stuff.
I do.
You'd have your own YouTube channel, right? It's just you don't really post on there, but it's,
I don't use it.
You don't really use it, but there is a channel. That is where the sample came from.
If we are talking about a channel,
If we're
I believe it exists.
There is
And
a channel that
yeah,
exists.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Paul Metzger is the name of the channel, the name that's in the title. And I mean, what you're doing right now with those videos, I don't know what the plan is for that, but that might be.
For the project I'm working on this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be something I'm working on a different aspect of what my musical interests are, and doing for me, a pretty huge video project to capture these unusual mechanical mostly wind-up instruments with a friend of mine who has just a beautiful eye and ability to light objects in a way that makes them more substantial than they look in real life. And so that's Rick McGonigal. So this is what you might call a shout out to Rick. So that's what's just going on with me right now. I'm taking a break from it to do this. But yeah, I love hearing this stuff. It's inspirational.
We've got one more. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna lose all my viewers to you if you start a channel. That's what somebody said in the chat.
Shit.
Alright. Last one, I believe. Then we might have some extra ones. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, mic is on. Thank you.
Now the mic's on. I don't know what I was saying. Oh, I think I remember.
The transitions in there, it's like kind of messy when it first comes in, and
Yeah, it starts off. The sample is setting up the rhythm and a and kind of the accents inside of that rhythm, and you're using it. But when you drop the actual drum beat to go with it, they're not lined up in a way that's compelling to me. It's like I hear it, but then they're also kind of button heads and not meshed. But by the time you get past that establishing moment in it, you seem to settle into it, and suddenly the beats that you're choosing are really well matched to what's happening melodically and rhythmically from the sample. And then it's happening, and it's the kind of thing I want to hear. I love those. I think the language is those kind of breaks where things kind of stop.
yeah,
There's something that is overarching that brings you back to the kick drop. It's like pooge, and there are tons of those, and I'm a sucker for that. Along with the use of that high pluck that's kind of up in that hi-hat realm, or reminds me a little bit of, I don't know what the song is, but I think it was that Missy Elliott one that had to do with the Super Bowl, and it has a sound of a single string instrument, and she's coming to the camera, and
okay, I can't remember the name of that one. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I don't know it either. I don't even know if that's who it was, but I like that. It called back to that kind of idea, and I thought it was inventive, playful, and really worked once you got past
Once it got into
the establishing moment, which was clumsy to my ear. Then you're landing on it. You know it. You understand what the sample is, and then you just fucking have it. So my critique would be take another look at the opening passages, how when you bring your beat in, and see what you think when you listen to it critically, and maybe it's exactly how you want it to sound, and I'm just all wet, but
No, I think
that's
that's
where
phenomenal.
I'm at.
Phenomenal feedback. Get Your Freak On by Missy Elliott. They say
Oh, that's what the song. Okay, so you know what that thing
Yeah.
is, and I love that whatever that sample is, and it has so much forward motion to it. It just propels that whole fucking track.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Battery's low. We're good, though.
Battery's
Can keep-
low on. Lapis balapis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're good.
We're good.
All right.
Just like grab a charger from my backpack real quick.
I can just do some of my acapella
Do you
triple
have
falsetto
any idea
work.
what might be your favorite from your first listening to everything?
I'm going to tell you, I think my mind doesn't work that way enough.
Yeah.
And
That's what I figured, because I usually
Yeah.
have to listen to it a couple times, too.
I would think I'd have to look at it in that light, and when I'm hearing them, I'm just reacting to what I'm hearing and how I feel about it. I would say, I mean, there are just ones that need more work. I don't know which one that was. It was either the previous one or before that
Yeah.
that seemed to, that was described by the producer as meh. I think that would be, and this sounds awful now because I'm more like I'm picking a loser, but that's not really it. That would just be the one that would need the most, that sounded like it needed the most attention. But much of the other ones, like including the last one, have something that really gives it the feel of being finished, and stands on its own base, And I was really surprised that they'd be like that in general. Like, because you're forced into, well, not forced, you're willingly accepting a challenge to use a source that
Yep.
you're not familiar with, because I'm not a well-known artist, you
And
know.
it's a whole different sound, and
Yeah.
nobody is sampling improvisational,
No.
custom-made banjos.
No, it hasn't happened, but I love hearing it and people being open to it. To me, that's inspirational. That's open-mindedness. It's letting yourself hear something. Those are huge factors for an artist to be able to have that and turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like really good to hear all that stuff.
Man, phenomenal. All right, so I'll just set up the vote as normal.
Yeah.
You guys in the Discord and everything can vote for your favorite beats per usual. I think that was such a phenomenal feedback and listening. I couldn't ask for anything better. That was
Yeah, I'm telling
That's
you,
great.
man. Like, I love hearing that, and on someone who is critiquing like that, you really have to leave personal taste at the side. You can maybe mention it, but it really, once people are making their work that has integrity to themselves, you have to be like, okay, I would never listen to that. But that's not something about the music, it's about my taste. And so I just leave that shit out. And I want to hear it and be open, and I want to understand the person that has produced it, And man, it was super enjoyable to hear that. Expectations were just a big question mark
Yeah.
for me when August said he wanted to hit it like this, and because it sounded like, oh man, there's gonna be a train wreck after train wreck in my mind.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot to create something that can stand on its own two legs.
He said that's why I was a little hesitant, not sure about the taste for hip hop. Man, you really like your favorite hip hop stuff. I think the '90s Memphis is
Oh,
some of your
man.
favorite. MF
Yeah.
Doom. It's just taste. Like
Yeah.
not everything.
Yeah, in the hip hop realm, I would say 99.9% of it just holds no interest for me.
But that's with all art too.
That
like,
is
that's
true.
not just